What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody out there? How y'all doing out there, my real talkers? This Friday, July 16th. Hopefully, you're on the precipice of a fantastic weekend, as I am. It's beautiful outside, hot and muggy here in Atlanta, but glad to be alive and blessed and highly favored, as they say. With that being said, I wanted to just talk to you guys for a little minute and just kind of pop in and I give my take on, current situation that's happening out here right now, talking about the Richard Sherman situation. So if you haven't been following what's going on, Richard Sherman is an NFL player, high level impact player, played for the San Francisco 49ers. And recently he had an incident, where he got into an altercation, somewhat, trying to get at his wife, breaking her house, things like that. And the news came on, and of course they caught wind of it and they reported it, as a violent incident. What's up, Carlos? How you doing, my brother? Glad to be back. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for sticking with me. So with that being said, quite naturally, anytime a famous athlete, singer, actor, whatever, particularly African American, has any kind of incident that's family related and related to violence, it's going to make some news. Now, it's important to note here that nobody was physically harmed, in any kind of way. In fact, his wife has come out supporting him from the very instance that it happened, stating she wasn't hurt, the kids wasn't hurt. She was just concerned he was trying to get in. So let me actually share my screen with you guys because I want you to see a little bit of a snippet of the actual incident. It's a real short video, but hopefully you'll be able to actually get an idea of what actually happened. So let me share my screen with you guys and then we'll talk about it. Okay. Come through. Okay, folks, there you got it. There you have it. That's about 1 minute and 39 seconds of a 1 minute and 55-second video released by the Redmond Police Department. And it details what has been considered a highly violent incident by an NFL star. 1 minute and 39 seconds. What's up, Kennard? How you doing, my brother? And so before I get into dissecting what I saw, because this is all subjective, but I'll tell you what I saw. Let me read a statement that just happened about an hour ago from Richard Sherman himself. He says, "I am deeply remorseful for my actions on Tuesday night. I behaved in a manner I am not proud of. I have been dealing with some personal challenges over the last several months, but that is not an excuse for how I acted. The importance of mental and emotional health is extremely real, and I vow to get the help I need. I appreciate all of the people who have reached out in support of me and my family, including our community here in Seattle. I am grateful to have such an amazing wife, family, and support system to lean on during this time. That's a statement released by Richard Sherman about an hour ago or so. And that video was released by the Redmond Police Department. So they wanted, to come clean with what actually happened. Now, I find the video extremely amusing, to be perfectly honest with you. You know, so everybody can dissect it the way they want to. I find it funny that what looked like, in my mind, maybe I'm crazy, but what looked like a typical argument between a couple has ballooned into an incident where they were talking about this man having felony charges and things like that. Now, he was arrested early morning hours. He was held about 48 hours, and he was released, and he has to go back in court 8:30 in the morning, I believe, tomorrow. And he's only facing, up from what we understand right now, 4 minor charges, no felonies whatsoever. No felonies whatsoever. 4 minor charges. I've watched that video a few times, folks. So let me tell you what I saw. He's outside of her door, and listen to what he's saying. He's at his wife's family's house saying, come through, come through. And he even says her name, Ray. So it's not hollering any type of anger, harboring type of anger towards his wife, but he's asking for somebody named Ray, which I'm assuming is her dad. And they won't let him in. Now, if you notice in the front of the door, it seems like a really nice house, really nice neighborhood. He didn't kick over the flower pots. He didn't take one of the nice flower pots and bust it up against the door. He didn't even kick the door. He pushed it with his hands and tried to put his weight on it. And if you know anything about Richard Sherman, he might weigh 190 pounds, if that. Clearly can't get through the door. But he looked, in my opinion, remarkably composed for someone who was angry. Now, as I dissect that video, what I saw was a husband who had got into it with his wife, and she probably said some shit that got under his skin. And her being at her family, having her family's backing, she probably really said some shit that got under his skin, knowing that dad's here. Richard Sherman, being who he is, being a man, was like, okay, you calling me out? You think I'm scared to come? I'm going to show up at your door. And what I saw was him saying, it's real cute when you saying that behind a closed door. And he was talking to Ray. So what he was indicating from what I saw was, Ray, if you got so much to say, step outside and face me like a man. But what I did not see was a man that was completely out of control. He didn't look like he was about to hurt himself or he was angry. And that's what happens, folks, when we get angry. We get angry, we express ourselves. What does it say about us as a country that we've gotten to a point where you can no longer act out and be angry? Guess what? It happens. We become so politically correct in this country until where now, if we raise our voices, oh my God, all hell is breaking loose and we're about to blow up. No, sometimes you get angry. By the way, a comedian, Chris Rock once said in a routine, you ain't never been in love if you ain't contemplated killing a bitch. So to be perfectly honest with you, it might have been an act of love. Because when I think about it from that perspective, if I give a damn about you, you can, in fact, get under my skin. But if somebody says something to me and I don't give 2 shits about you, it rolls off my back like a duck. The fact that you can still get under my skin and push those buttons, that means I have some feelings for you. I love you. I had a ex-girlfriend one time who lived in Dallas, and I lived in Memphis, and she knew how to push my buttons to the point where if I could have got my hands on her, I might have would have. I don't mean hurt her, but I mean, as they say, just shake her a little bit. But that's because I loved her. Because once there is no love, there is no feelings, there is no emotion, it doesn't matter what you say. R. Kelly famously in one of his songs said, when a woman's fed up, there ain't nothing you could do about it. And in that song, it talks about the fact that when someone, in this case a woman, has completely rid herself of you, it doesn't matter what you say, what you do, what your money financial situation is, what gives you, when she's done, she's done. And women, I'm sure, can attest to that. What's going on, my brother Joseph? I'm with you. I just didn't see any domestic violence there. If you want to charge her with anything, reckless endangerment against a door, maybe you can do that, I guess. And that's why the judge even said in this case that he's a pillar of his community. He's a business owner. That's certainly not his normal character. The judge literally said that I'm releasing this man. Sure, he might have been drinking. So maybe for his own safety, they kept him on a 48-hour hold till he got sober. But how many of us haven't had a couple of drinks, when we're pissed off at somebody and in the heat of the moment, that liquid courage has you kind of going. But even then, what I saw was not a belligerent drunk, was not an out of control individual, was not a violent control individual. I saw a guy that was remarkably composed. He was just angry. And now, would he have whooped somebody's ass? Probably. But guess what, folks? Sometimes people do need a good old-fashioned ass beating. And that's what's going wrong with this country. We've taken prayer out of schools. We've taken discipline out of homes. And now we've taken a good old-fashioned argument out of marriages. Arguments sometimes breed the best making up sessions. Arguments, disagreements sometimes lead you to a much better place, because sometimes people don't understand talking in a quiet voice, standing in a corner. Sometimes you got to cuss a mother out. Sometimes you got to shake a mother. And sometimes you have to whoop somebody's ass. It was effective way back when in Adam and Eve's day. It's effective all the way up to today. I don't have a problem in a world with what Richard Sherman did. I think it was perfectly fine. Leave that man alone. Stay out of his business. Don't label him no violent perpetrator, nothing like that. His wife has already spoken out in support of him. Nobody was hurt. She even acknowledges he's a great father, great husband. Leave them damn people alone, please, and let those people argue in peace. And if he needs to, dust off a little steam, okay. Now until he actually knocks her teeth out and drags her, but that's not even his character. That's not his MO. And so I think, once again, we're making so much more out of an incident that really amounted to a guy showed up at his wife's parents' house, wanting to blow off a little bit of steam. And with that said, leave that damn man alone, please. Bye.